The FA series of workstation from Roland have a couple different engines inside. It has the PCM based engines, SuperNatural Synth, SuperNatural Acoustic, and SuperNatural Drums. In this video we're going to learn how to edit the SuperNatural Synth section. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and choose the synth section inside the FA. And in our example, I'm going to be editing JPH strings 1. Next, I'm going to press and hold the shift button and I'm going to press tone edit. Let's start off by pressing the cursor button up and highlight these different tabs that are at the top of the screen. So I'm going to cursor to the left and you see here's my common parameters, such as if I'm going to make this a poly sound or a mono sound. There's all the wave shapes. Here's my portamento, so I can adjust the time it takes between notes. And my unison switch on or off. Let's cursor up a little bit more. Here we see my oscillator section, and this is what generates the different tones inside the FA synth section. My pitch, filter, amp, LFO, and modulation LFO. And there's a couple other things you can go through as well, but let's just focus on the basics for now. The first screen we're going to focus on is the oscillator screen. But before we begin, we're going to go ahead and press pad mode and use a different pad mode to change the different partials inside the FA. Check this out. Let's begin by pressing pad utility. Now let's press pad mode. And now we're going to select pad number 6, partial switch, and select. Now let's get back into editing that synth sound. Press and hold shift, hit tone edit. Now what we just did by adjusting the pad mode inside here is, if you look at the top right of the screen, you see the different partials right here. So if you follow along, these first 3 buttons tell you which partial you'll be editing. And it is possible to edit more than one partial at the same time if we have them all lit up. The green section lets you hear what partials are active. So if you want or do not want to hear a partial, you just click on the buttons. And if you wanted to edit that same partial, just press one of the orange, 5, 6, or 7. So I'm going to begin by hearing partial 1 and also editing partial 1. Notice how it switches on the screen. So let's begin by listening to the basic sound. Now if we want to, we can go in there and we can change what kind of waveform. And in this example, it's using a super saw. We can change it to maybe a sine or a triangle. That's cool. Let's go ahead and change it to maybe a square. Kind of neat. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to leave it on the square. Now I'm going to use my pads and I'm going to turn on partial number 2 and I'm going to hit 6 so I can edit partial number 2. And let me go ahead and turn off partial number 1. Partial number 2 is just default for a super saw. Now if I want to hear partial number 1 and partial number 2 together, I would just hit pad number 1 and make sure both of them are lit. So that's just a little taste of going into the oscillator inside the FA.